Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen. I want to talk to you a bit about eggs today and how they can be used in your magical practice. I use them a lot. They are handy, they're accessible, they're cheap. So let's get started. One thing you can do is leave the egg whole as it is and focus on things that you want to grow, prayers that you have. This is like the simple base starting point. Focus on it, putting it in the egg. To protect it, to keep it safe, what you can do is let's say you're going to use this on your altar, pour a pile of salt. Get a little mountain of salt on here for your egg, and that will help protect it. So that while you're doing your working, no negativity is going to enter into that, and you can kind of keep it focused and safe in the egg. The great symbol, of course, of an egg is that it's a new beginning. It holds all potential. So whatever you can put into this, it holds it, it protects it, it keeps it safe until you're ready to release it into the world. Ways you can release it into the world is you can put it in your garden, you can put it outside, you can roll it down through the river. I do that a lot. I let water carry my eggs away and give it back to nature. Another thing you can do with eggs, this one's a little trickier, but fun and a little messy, and I'll show you, maybe a little embarrassing in just a minute. But you can hollow out an egg, and to do this, I use a screw. You can use like a big fat nail or a screw. I like the screw because then I can twist it a little bit. And you want to try to get it on the very top and the very bottom, puncture holes in here. So I'm going to go for this. We're going to try it. Get your hammer and your screw or nail and gently tap it. You'll feel it start to get into that shell. And then once it gets in there, you want to just start twist it a little bit, break the membrane that's inside of it, make that hole fairly decent size, because what you want to do is blow that egg out of there when you're done. So you get that hole in there, flip it over. It won't drain because of the vacuum created in there right now. So you have to make another hole on the other side. Here we go again. All right, so now you got that hole on the other side. Make it a little bit open. You can work it a little bit, break the membrane that's inside. And here's the fun part. You ready? You gotta blow all the milk out of it. So it takes a little bit of work, but you can do this. Ugh, it's disgusting, huh? Now run some water through it. Ew, ooh, and yeah, and if you're like me, wearing lipstick, I have it all over. So I got it all over my egg. Anyway, you know, if you're playing an instrument, you'll be really good at this. So you have now hollow egg. And what you're gonna do with that hollow egg is fill it. It's a small hole. So the easiest way to fill this is get some herbs, get whatever you're working with for your magical intent, crushing them up real good so it's kind of a powder. Roll up a piece of paper, just a small piece of paper, so that you're making your own funnel, and put that in there and pour the herbs in. Before you do that, you might want to seal up one of the ends. To do that, use some wax. So if you're working, let's say for money, because you know we all need money, crush up your herbs, mix up your herbs with whatever you use to attract wealth or abundance to you. Get the color candle that you would use to attract wealth or abundance to you. Some people use green, some people use white. I personally use red for power and a little extra something to that. So drip some wax on there, seal up the hole, then pour your herbs in, seal up this hole. So what you can do with this, then you've got your basically little spell inside your egg. It's sort of like knot magic. you're putting your energy into it, and then while it's in there, you can then put it on your altar if you want, work with it for a while. When you feel like it's built up enough that you can release it to the world, then take it outside and smash it. That's the fun part. Smash it open. Give it to the elements. Let the wind take it away, let water take it away, or bury it in your garden so that it gives nutrients to the soil, and then plants grow, because then it's another layer of, if your plants are growing, then your wealth is growing. So you want to scatter this, release that energy. But this is a fun way to work a little magic too. Another thing you can do with eggshells is make cascarilla. So I've got my mortar and pestle here. I've got some eggshells. If you're gonna go old school and use and crush it up like this way with your stones, you might want to peel the membrane that's out from the inside, let them dry really well, and then peel the membrane out. If you're in a hurry and you don't feel like waiting around for these things to dry, you can put them in your oven just on a really, really low temp and let them dry that way. Just don't forget about them, because eggs, when they're burning, smell really, really bad. So I've been told. So anyway, if you don't want to bother with all of that, cleaning out the membrane, do it though if you're going to do it with the stone, because when you're crushing and you get it down to, I should do it with a membrane, see if I can get an example of this. But what happens is that your shells don't fully fall apart, they don't crush apart. That thin membrane on the inside will hold them together, and it makes it harder to crush. So you do want to pull out all the membranes if you're crushing. But this takes a while to do, to get it really fine. You know what I like to do? Throw them in my Vitamix. I know, it's a modern witchcraft. Vitamix, food processor, coffee grinder. You know when you put your beans in the top? Those work great. I have one specifically just for my herbs or my spices or witchy things, and I have another one for my coffee beans. So that's a way to do it too. But you want to get like these shells down to a powder, basically like this. This is cascarilla, all really finely ground. You can also add things to this. You can add things for magical purpose and intent. Add cornstarch, and if you add cornstarch to it and get it moistened, you can make chalk out of it. This is it all hardened and dried together. So you can, it's a little more practical sometimes if you're traveling or if you need to draw something out. I use cascarilla for many, many things. I make my bebes with it, so I'll draw out on the ground with it. It can be used to cover your chakras, so that will aid in some protection if you're doing some work or you're feeling a little overstimulated with energies that you're working with. Put some of that on, and that helps as well too, helps for grounding. It's really protective. I mean, you can put it in the corners of your house. You can wash your walk with it, kind of like you do with red brick dust. Just lots of things. Think of it as protection. It's sort of an all-purpose protection. So we've got, let's see, eggs for the altar, eggs for spells, eggs for protection. How about eggs to remove blockages? This is probably my most favorite use of the egg. But this one you want it whole, not hard boiled. You want all the gooey stuff. If you have a blockage, something happening in your life, let's say you're creative block, writer's block, artist block, maybe it's a block to money, success, to a job you want, whatever it is. Maybe you don't even know what it is, but you're feeling really blocked. Hold the egg, think about the block, focus on that, and then throw it in the shower. Breaks blockages, cheaper than therapy, great for anger. Now that you have some ideas of what you can do with this simple egg, go for it, have fun, and get witchy.